Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to our 60th episode of Cardboard and Cold Ones. Big time, a big episode. Unfortunately, I don't, not that I don't have a beer, but I'm not drinking one because I'm still recovering. My voice is still, it's kind of like gone from having a cold to like a dry cough. So it's been a slow thing so far. So water is my friend tonight.
Oh, I can, PBR solves everything, Sammy.
Not in this case. Mm.
No, I think this is going to be a fun one. I'm excited to do this. We've got a
Yeah.
good buddy on, part of the
Mhm.
Missouri crew. I call it the Missouri crew.
Missouri crew. We're going to talk a little, yeah, definitely talk a little bit more about that, learn a little bit more about that crew. It's a
Right.
very strong crew.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And there's, and it's fun. A lot of fun guys.
Yeah.
I did talk to you on the side, and I just wanted to, briefly discuss our buddy Reverend Steve, and you were okay with that. I was a little shook by that. It did, I got to meet Steve last year, and we spent some time together in Strongsville, and exchanged gifts. And when I saw it, I don't handle that stuff very well, so I was a little shook. It's probably why I haven't done a video, but I wanted to let everybody know. And there's been plenty of videos out there. There is a GoFundMe page for Steve, and I think you have the link, Sammy.
It's a long link, but it's going to be in there. So I'm going to post it right now. I don't know. Oh, it kind of stretched to tooth. Hold on. Let me see if I can redo this because the link kind of stretched into two different comments, so it might not work.
Gotcha.
Keep going. Let me.
Yeah.
Just
worst case scenario, I know that Keith Lonely Basement had the link. I think a few other channels did. I think Brent Richards might have had the link as well if it's not working here. But Steve was only 45 and had 4 kids, and this is all going to go towards his family in their time of need and help them financially with whatever they need help with. I did want to shout out our buddy Lenny Cardcast.
Yeah,
he's a legend, absolute legend. Lenny had a whatnot sale, and all the proceeds went to the GoFundMe for Steve, and it was upwards around $800. So
yeah,
I told Lenny I was going to brag on him a little bit because that's way too kind. I mean, he's just a great guy. So shout out to Lenny. I saw that he was in here earlier. So yeah, but I mean, you know what, guys? I'll keep it brief. If you get an opportunity, think of him. Think of him and smile, and think of his family. And again, like Keith said, I'm not telling anybody to do what they need to do with their money. But if you have the opportunity and the ability to help them out, go check out the GoFundMe page.
For sure. And it seems like, based on when I went to the page, it's doing very well. So that's a good sign. There's definitely a lot of, I'm sure there's a lot of people in the community, a lot of people with his friends and family, and just a lot of support and a lot of outpouring there.
Yeah, so he was a great guy, and I enjoyed talking about him with a smile. We have another great guy on tonight, so I want to have some fun with him as well too. So
yeah. So let's do a roll call. Tonight our first one is Mike from Jay Hawker, 3 favorite guys in the hobby. Cheers. Andy from Dog Get My Card is here. eBay is here, screaming as always.
Perfect.
Peter B, good to have you. Got my cold one ready. That's awesome. And we just saw Lenny, so Lenny is here. Bruce is here. Howdy, fellows. Dave from Peacemaker is here. Steve with a PH. Looking forward to seeing that nice 52 Jackie when you bring it with you, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Orioles Collector is here. Ruben is here under his content creating channel. Cardboard Coach Neil, what's up? Mike Good, yes. The good news is, Sammy, you can stockpile the Zadies. I have, and Mike Good is a huge component of that. So thank you again, Mike.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll definitely have some available to bring over to Independence.
I got to try one. I have to try one.
I think you'll be hooked on it after. Steve is here. Doug from Joe Wood Collector. Good evening. Sven is here. What's up, Sven? Double D is here. Double Shaka.
Nice.
Storkzilla, what is up? Love the name. Dan from Steel City is here. Pre-war pickers, what is up? And Vintage Hot Stove 70, greetings. We are done with our roll call, so without further ado, let's go ahead and bring him in. What's up, Justin?
What's up, guys? What I want to know is, what is Dylan power washing?
I thought about that too.
It's got to get the salt off everything from the ocean, right?
That's right. I don't know what he's power washing his feelings because they just lost to the Hogs.
I just hope he's not power washing an SUV.
Yeah.
That could be troublesome.
So how have you been, my friend? Thanks for jumping on.
Absolutely, man. I've been great. Things have been good. It's kind of a crazy time of year, I guess it always is. As I'm a band director, and so we just finished our big concert assessment stuff and getting ready for spring break, so winding down a little bit.
Very nice. Well, I'm most of the guys watching probably know who you are. I consider you part of that Missouri. I say Missouri crew. That's probably pretty offensive to Mike Jayhawker since he's from Lawrence, but I'll call it the Missouri crew. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and the channel? Maybe your origin story, how you got started, all that good stuff.
Sure, absolutely. So I'm from just south of St. Louis, and I grew up there, and I didn't move away till I was 21. Moved to the other side of the state, just south of Kansas City, and so I've lived on both sides. But then I now live in Arkansas, and so I'm in central Arkansas, just north of Little Rock. And I collected as a kid, like a lot of us did, and then I didn't for a long time. And when my son started playing baseball, we started getting into it a little bit together. My mom had a binder that she collected when she was a kid, and asked me if I wanted it to share it with my son. And I said absolutely, and so I got that binder. It was a 60s binder, and it had a lot of really great stuff in it. I'll show you some here in a little bit, but some wonderful cards, and just really got me back in, like full force. And so I own a mowing business in the summers, and so I started listening to podcasts and stuff, listened to the Golden Age, and got real hooked on that. And so that just, he at one point, Chris from Missouri was on there, and he had started a YouTube channel because of Mike, and I just decided I would start one as well. So it just kind of hit. And then Billy Ballgame reached out to me.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a weird connection there that
I know.
People don't know
we
about.
Actually went to the same high school together, or not together, but he was before me. But me and his brother-in-law were best friends growing up. So he was already on YouTube, and I didn't even know that. I started my channel, and he reached out, and he was like, dude, I'm on YouTube too. And then it just really connected. And then I went up there and met Chris, and Jayhawker came, and Ross and Rusty, and we all just kind of got pretty tight knit.
Yeah, that's awesome. I absolutely love that. I know you guys do the chats quite a bit, and I try to jump on them when I can. But I love how close the group is. I think that's very cool.
I feel like there needs to be a special name, like how there's the Misfits.
Right. I do call them the Missouri crew. Like, that's in my head, and I can name everybody he just named, and I think and I would include Joe Redneck Collector into that.
Yeah, Joe Redneck Collector's in
But now it's expanding. You got Billy. You got Billy, Phil Necro Collector. He kind of jumps in.
John Nerding Out with Cards.
He's a St. Louis fan. I know that Tony Talks Cards jumps in sometimes.
Yeah,
Kyle,
absolutely.
and now we're.
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah.
We've had Jim Faulkner's been in there.
Yep. So I think last night Jay was on, right?
I think Jim
Collector was with Jayhawker. I think they were chatting last night as well.
Jim has to decide where his allegiance stands, because he does a lot of East Coast stuff too. So you need to figure out where his allegiance stands.
You East Coast you guys got all the love. You get all the shows. You got all the love.
Yeah, we are the spoiled brats of the hobby for sure.
It's where our hobby started, right? So
right, exactly right.
I suppose. I mean, yeah, I guess so. If I had to think about it, there were definitely. If we're talking about like the pre-war days, I suppose. But there was some stuff that was being made outside the East Coast. I would think, right? There was some stuff.
Yeah, but I think the origin is probably East, right? Obviously, just like the country was. I know you had the Pacific Coast League years later, but
sure.
But origin stuff is all out East. Just like
New York was the Mecca,
right? Especially Golden Era, right? That's without question. Now I'm familiar with the origin story. I know you have an affinity for a 60s set. It happens to be the 68 set. You want to dive into that a little bit?
Yeah. So sure, I'll show you. Here, I got this one. So this was in my mom's binder. And I knew about this card growing up, and I've shown this card probably 6 billion times, but I guess I'll always show it. But
I would too.
yeah. So my mom pulled that from a pack in 68, and she actually pulled cards, and she was a freshman in high school at the time, and pulled that out. And so I got it graded, and a guy had suggested there was about 100 of the 68s in this binder, and a guy suggested I go for the set, and so I did. And as I started going through it, all these opportunities started happening, and I fell in love with the story of the set. I fell in love with the set. It's my absolute, and I just did a video on mistakes, and I said one of the mistakes was that I spent so much time on that set. It was only a mistake because there are so many cards that I want now that I could have been going for at the time, but I love that I have that set. Like, I love it. It's beautiful. It looks great in the binder. I did the game cards afterwards, and so I've got that full set as well, sitting in front. And so, I mean, everything about that set, I love it. I've got to meet one of the players and become good friends with one of the players he was a Cardinal. And so that's been pretty cool. He's 87, just turned 87. And I go to church with his daughter, and so we still talk. And it's just been a really, really, really awesome connection and opened some really awesome doors for me.
Now, what are you thinking? Maybe Vennies on the next step? There's a lot of 68 Vennies.
Well, you know what's funny? So
I can help.
Yeah. So I'll show you this right here. This is Dick Hughes. He's the one that I was talking about a second ago. And so I've met him, and we had lunch together, and we talk, and I send him stuff, and he has signed all his cards. He pitched for the Cardinals in that 67 season that they won the World Series, and he won 16 games and was runner-up Rookie of the Year to Tom Seaver. And
some guy named Tom Seaver.
I know. Well, and he lost it. There were two races of that, and he lost one and actually beat Tom in the other one. Wow. And so he has a Rookie of the Year award. It's just not the Rookie of the Year award.
Right.
But he was, I mean, just phenomenal pitcher, and then felt something warm and wet in the 68 season and pitched about 68 more innings, 67 or so innings, and then he was done and never pitched again. And that was his only full season. And he has a World Series ring, and he pitched with like 5 Hall of Famers. And I mean, it was just a fantastic. So I've gotten to talk to him, but he has a Vinny. That's where I was going with that. John Nerd Out with Cards sent me the other day. He said, and he has a Vinny. And so there's a Vinny on eBay right now of him. And it's only like $30. I mean, it's like in a 5 or something. And so I think that would be really cool to have. But yeah, I may have to go after some of those. I've got so much other stuff on the list, and the set's complete. So I don't know if I'm going to keep adding to it, but
sure. Now, did you say it was a 5? The Venny was a 5?
Yeah.
In Venny world, that's like a 10.
Oh, I know. And it's still just like 30 something. I mean, it's Dick Hughes. It's not, a Bob Gibson Vinny or something like that, but it's, it's not very expensive. And I sent it to him, and he didn't even know that existed.
Okay.
So, cool. Yeah, he didn't even know those were a thing, but so I sent it to him and showed him on the bottom where it said Venezuela, and he sent it back to me and said, that's the coolest thing. I've sent him a couple things too, like he's never seen a ticket from a game that he pitched. And in these, he beat Jim Bunning in one of them, 1-0, and beat Gaylord Perry in the other one, 2-0.
Hall of Famers.
Yeah. And I got them. They're both signed by Hughes. I got them signed from him. Winning pitcher 1-0. This says winning pitcher 2-0. He actually got one of his 4 RBIs in the Gaylord Perry one. And so it's been really fun to like send him things that he's never seen of himself. And he gets kind of excited about it. And he's like, oh, that's so cool. I've never seen that. And you're finding really neat things. It's just really fun.
That is very cool. That is a lot of fun. I know that you also picked up, I don't know, what's been about 3 or 4 months, a pretty iconic card as far as Cardinal fans go.
Yeah. In fact, So my intro, I'm holding the little caricature of myself. I'm holding it, and I was that caricature has owned this card longer than I have, because it was a card that I wanted so bad, and I just couldn't. I saved up, like, I only have a $25 a month budget. My wife stays at home with the kids, and we homeschool, even though I'm an educator, and so we've just made that decision, and so I don't have a lot in terms of card budget, and so it took me a long time to save up for this, and I sold some things, made some sacrifices, but yeah, it's my Bob Gibson, and this one's a 1. It's got like a little staple. You can't really see it all that well.
That's perfect. That's
but it's got
perfect.
I gotta say,
it's centered, beautifully centered. The back is in just great shape. I couldn't love this card more. In terms of what it is, I got it for under 500.
My response to that is that's where a staple hole comes in handy, right? Because if there was no staple hole in there, that'd be a 4, right? Or something like that.
It's beautiful. I love it. I've put it up next to a 6, and it looks very similar. And it's just a beautiful card. And I can't even believe. Yeah, I got it a few months ago, and I went back and I looked, and over a year ago I started talking about this card.
When did you where, how, like, what format did you buy that off of eBay, or did you buy that through a show?
So it was Facebook, the vintage card group.
Yeah, I remember seeing it.
Yeah, his name's Jeff Hopkins.
Yeah, of course, I know Jeff.
Yeah, and so he had it on there, and I sent him something, and I'm like, would you take this for, I didn't get much down on him, and I don't blame him. It's a beautiful card, but I had to try, and so, but I was about to pull the trigger on a 3 on eBay that was a little more off center than this one, but it was like almost $300 more.
Yep.
And so I can't believe, like, I couldn't believe when I saw this, and I couldn't believe it was a 1, and I couldn't believe the price. He had 500 on it. I got 25 off of it, but it was $475 shipped, and just beautiful. I couldn't be happier.
That is perfect. And that's right in my wheelhouse.
There's something about, like, if certain condition preferences are not a big deal to you, I find, like, finding those lower grade examples that just that has the centering, that has the good color to it. To me, it's a great feeling when you can make a deal on a card like that. There's such a good feeling that ties to it. You feel good about it.
Well, in that particular case, it feels like a total win. Like, even if you get $25 off of it, it's a win, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful. You feel like you did well, right? It's a forever card. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You just it's a win. That's the quickest and easiest way I can describe it.
Yeah. In the same group, I did a similar thing. It was a different guy, but with my Musial rookie.
Yeah, look at
the
that.
1.5, very centered. It's got like a little bit of staining in some spots, but like, and I got this at a real low price. In fact, I didn't even have the money for it. I was saving up for it, and I had about half of what he was asking. And I sent him a message, and I said, this may be way out of line, but I'm going to give this a shot, because you just tell me no if you don't want me to. And I said, I've got these cards, and there was 3 other cards, and this amount of money. Would you take it for that Musial? And he said, sure, I'd love it to go to another collector. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy cow. And so he sent it before he even got the stuff.
Right. Now, was that Facebook as well, Justin?
It was the same. Yeah, it was the same vintage card group. Yeah.
Okay. It's stunning. So I've never bought anything off of an auction or eBay. And I made my first eBay purchase about a month and a half ago. And the dealer, the guy who I bought off of, is extremely willing to work with me. I'm actually picking up what I bought from him at Strongsville, because he's going. And he was selling some of this stuff for funds for Strongsville. So, but very easygoing, very simple transaction. And now I'm on the hunt on Facebook now, which I would ignore it. I actually ignored it. Like, I'll buy my stuff on eBay and shows. But That community, it's out there. And I know, Sam, you've been on it for a while. I mean, you've kind of been wheeling and dealing on Facebook for a while, haven't you?
I haven't sold on Facebook in quite some time. Well, I take that back. I sold a card semi-recently. My what was it? The New York Journal American Maze. I sold it to somebody on Facebook, but I generally, if I actually bought a few things off Facebook recently that should be coming in the mail tomorrow. A couple of Negro League cards, which I'm excited about. That was over an auction, but yeah, I mean, Justin knows this, is that there's some really good stuff that circulates through, that goes through those groups. You said it was the vintage baseball cards, just that, right? That was the name of it, Justin?
Yeah. There's a vintage Topps baseball cards, but it's just a show cards, I think. And then the one that sells is just vintage baseball cards.
The vintage baseball cards is the administrator. I think he's the administrator. Is Matt Falimley.
Yeah,
he's the one. I've had him on my channel. We did an interview once, or it might have been on For Collectors. I can't remember, but yeah, Matt's a good guy. I bought the 2 cards I bought from him are from him, or that I won in auction are from him. But it's a great group. He does a good job, and I think there's a lot of good stuff that passes through.
Yeah, and there's some.
Go ahead, Justin.
Oh, I was just gonna say there's some pretty strict rules in there too that he's pretty good about, keeping the nonsense out and all that. I mean, they have a Wacky Wednesday, which I don't really get on there because
no, I don't agree with that part. Wednesday I avoid it, but
me too. But he usually, if anything, there's like, it has to be before an 86 or something like that, and if anybody does anything else, he's real quick to come on there and go look at rule, blah blah blah. Like it's a good group. You're right. It's a real good group. We were talking about the 68s a minute ago. That's almost how I built that entire 68 set. I met someone on there who said he had a bunch of the 68 cards in good shape. Sent me a picture, and I said, "Look, I don't have a ton of money to just buy the whole thing right now." And he said, "I'll tell you what, I'll hold them, and whenever you get some money, send me some money, and I'll send you some cards." And so, every other month for a while, I would send him $50, and he would send me about 60 cards, even with the high numbers. So I was getting really, and they were really good shape. I would say they were at least around 4s, 5s, and some even higher. And he was just sending them to me in a case, and I would do that every 2 months. And I bet I got about 350 to 400 cards from him that way.
Yeah, you built that set fairly quick because it's a big set.
Yeah, it wasn't very long. Yeah, it's 600 cards, 598 or something.
Are you in the market to upgrade your Yaz?
No.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
hey, you know what's funny is my mom pulled this one from a pack too.
No,
you kidding?
No, I'm not. She pulled this from a pack as well. And I didn't send all of the cards off that I got from her. I have a lot of Hall of Famers that I didn't send off. But that one was in such nice shape. I knew it was going to get a pretty high grade, so I went ahead and sent it in.
Nice.
Yeah. That's funny that I had that available to.
It was because you knew it was coming.
Yeah, well, I saw your last video. I saw you share it, and so I was just like, I'm going to have this out so I can. But that's funny.
I do remember also in one of your videos when you were going through some of the cards that your mother had, an affinity of mine. She had a bunch of post serials, and I love the post cards.
I've got those somewhere down here. Oh yeah. So I didn't send any of those off. And I mean, she cut these off, she cut these off the cereal box herself. But yeah, I've got, these are just the ones, that I cased up. I've got a lot of other ones. Here's an Aaron.
That's great. Couple Aparicios.
Yeah. There are a couple Killebrews, a Santo, Ken Boyer, who's one of my guys.
Every Cardinal guy is Ken Boyer. Is it their guy?
Yeah. I mean, you go Hall of Fame and then you go Ken Boyer,
right?
But yeah, there's about 100 more of them that are kind of lesser known guys. But yeah, and the fact that she spent time, like she cut those off the cereal boxes.
That's awesome.
It's really, really cool to me. And I'm not adding to those. I don't want to collect those. I just want the ones that she cut because I'm like terrified that if I get too much of something, I'll forget which ones were hers, or
Yeah.
I don't know. In the 68 set, I have stickers on all of them, on
Okay.
all the little pages, so I know what she had and all that stuff. But
That's smart. That actually makes a lot of sense. So what are we collecting these days now? So you've conquered the beast with the Pepto-Bismol Gibson.
yeah,
What's on the radar?
well, I just bought yesterday. I bought another Lou Brock card. I'm doing Lou Brock's run, and so that's a cool story too. If I can, here it is.
Yeah.
Here's Lou's rookie.
Yeah.
So what I did with this one, and look, I dropped it. Like, how terrible is that?
I got two of them like that where I did the same thing.
Yeah, but I'm not. If it was right here, I'd probably send it back in. But whatever. I bought this in a BVG 4.5, and cracked it out and sent it back in and did a video on it, on how I didn't care what it came back. I just wanted it to match the rest of the stuff that I had, and it came back a 5, so I won on that one. Pretty awesome. But anyway, I'm 2 cards away from finishing his run.
Do you have the 71? Because that's a high number, isn't it?
So that's the one I just bought.
Okay.
Yeah, and here's kind of a cool thing with that. A lot of people don't know this, but it's the only card in his entire run that has stolen bases on the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. You would think with him it'd be on every card. That's crazy.
So they didn't put it on any cards. There was no
70...
stolen base category until 71, and there's a theory that he's the reason why, because 6 years in a row leading up to that, he had 50 plus stolen bases.
Okay.
And so they added him to the 71 set. But then he did another like 8 years of the same thing afterwards, but they never did it again until 89 Upper Deck.
Wow. I only acknowledge his cards from 65 on, because,
or maybe 86, mid 80s, mid 80s they did it again, but they didn't do that stat for some reason.
Oh, that's crazy.
I wanted to show you something, Justin. I don't know if you have any of these. I have some of these team cards from 1971. As one, you got one of Gibson. I have Lou Brock.
That's awesome.
I have Tim McCarver.
Yeah.
If you're ever interested in any of these, I can sell them to you for dirt cheap.
Yeah, I would love them. Absolutely. Hey, I'll tell you what. Something you just brought up, Tim McCarver. I love Tim McCarver, but here's kind of a cool story. So I just came to a new school. The school I left from, one of the women that works there and was a teacher said that her cousin pitched on that 67 team for the Cardinals, and he was a relief pitcher. He ended up being roommates with Dick Hughes. Yeah, and so like, but he had a brain tumor and passed away, and Tim McCarver was one of his pallbearers.
Oh wow.
And so like I worked with this woman, and she shared her maiden name was the same last name as his, and all kinds of, I mean, just the connections are crazy of me with the 68 set.
Did you share that with Mr. Hughes when you
I did, and he actually teared up because nobody even knew that he was sick until he died. Like, he didn't tell anybody, and it was really hard for him. Like, he said, I didn't even know about it until I read it in the paper. And so it was, he struggled with it pretty bad, and he kind of teared up a little bit. So it's been unreal. They had just when I had lunch with, I'm kind of going back again, but
no, you're fine. You're fine. Do
when I had lunch with Hughes, they had just had their, not just, but a few years earlier in 2017, they had the 50th anniversary of that World Series, and he showed me pictures on his phone that he had taken of him and Bob Gibson and Lou Brock, and they were all sitting in the dugout, and just crazy cool stuff. And he would tear up talking about his good friend Bob, and it was just I've never been that close to something like to these legends. And his son has a scar on his ear where Orlando Cepeda Jr. bit him.
Oh wow!
He's still to this day he has a scar. Cepeda Jr. They used to have like a little kids area where all the kids of the team would be, and like someone would watch them. and little Cepeda bit his son in the ear and gave him a scar on his ear.
Yeah, I forgot Cepeda was on that 67 team.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah,
he
another
was the
Hall
first
of Famer.
baseman of that team, and so was Roger Maris.
Right.
And so, I mean, it was an unbelievable team.
It was stacked with a ton of talent when you go, because you forget about that, right? You know the Gibsons, you know the Brocks, you know the mainstays, even the McCarvers. But yeah, Cepeda hopped over there. Maris towards the end of his career was there. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty wild. And Carlton was on it. Steve Carlton.
Yes, Steve Carlton was. Yep. I actually think I have the 67 on the wall over here. So, and he was young, right? I mean, or younger. That was like his
65 as his rookie.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's very cool. Well, what else do you have to show? Did you want to show some stuff? Kind of just talk about it? Anything else?
Yeah, I can show some stuff. I was watching not that long ago. You guys were talking about, of course, one of my biggest influences was Golden Age, and so Mike got me into these.
Very cool.
And so I don't understand it. They're like one of the best absolute ways to get autographs of these guys. Like, I don't understand why they're so cheap.
Yeah.
Like, you get an autograph of Bob Gibson on a card or on a Playing Days card or something, and it's going to be that's just beautiful to me.
Absolutely. I know Ruben's another one who collects those.
Well, I mean, I only have Cardinals players.
Nothing wrong with that.
but I've got a bunch, and Stan, and then I've got Enos, and then the Red, Shane Dietz.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, that's another thing. So Red was the manager of that team.
That's right.
And then here's something else. Stan Musial, in his only year as GM, was the GM of that team.
Oh, I didn't know that. That I did not know. Oh, that's very cool.
Dick Hughes told me twice that he got called to Stan's office to get a raise. So I'll show you guys something that I think's real cool if I can get it out of here. I don't know. Did you ever see, Jason? Did you see me talk about this?
Yeah, actually, I think my buddy Aaron's got that as well.
Okay.
And, yeah.
This is a Rawlings Premium. I would think it's a 52. Yeah, it's a 52 Rawlings Premium. This is the only one graded by SGC, or at least it was the last time I checked.
That's
when
awesome.
I bought it. And it wasn't even that long ago. It is a 1.5, but like there's a little bit of staining on it, some staining on the back, blank back. But I loved it. I just bought it because I thought it was cool. I saw it on eBay and I bought it, and then I looked it up, and it's the only one that SGC's ever graded.
He has another. He's got a. Is it the 40? Is it the 48 or the 49 All-Star pack, Sammy? Which with Jackie and Musial's in that. I always mix up if it's 48 or 49. But if you look up the All-Star photos of one of those years, Musial's got a phenomenal one. Great image.
Does he?
Yeah.
He didn't. He's got a weird kind of side smile type thing, so that
like the
a lot
crooked.
of his pictures kind of look awkward, like he didn't know what to do. But every once in a while, like they'll be real natural and kind of like this one.
Yeah, well, that's iconic. That's one of my favorite cards of his. I think that's an awesome card.
And I had to get a one in this one too, just because that's what my budget allows for. But I mean, it's beautiful. It's got a pinhole just like the Gibson.
Perfect.
And then a little bit of paper loss that does nothing to the eye appeal of the card, but.
You don't need to sell me on that. That number means nothing.
Oh, I don't care about the number at all. I said something to Dylan one time, like, you can't convince me that some of these cards aren't the same cards as 4s and 5s.
Right.
They just have a different number on them. And so, but I've got some other stuff. I think that my mom.
Let me just. There's one card I feel like you should definitely look into in the future. I'm going to show it on the screen here real fast.
Okay.
You ever seen the 1946 Propagandist Montiel, Stan?
No.
Yeah. That's expensive, Sammy. It's expensive.
I know, but it's worth knowing about.
Oh, it's awesome. I love it.
It's beautiful.
It's a Cuban card. I think it's Cuban.
He's all baggy and I just love it. I love that.
It's the same year as 48 Bowman, right? I mean, Propaganda Montiel was 48, 49?
No, it's 46.
Oh, 46. So it's prior. Okay.
Yeah, he's got a 47 like dessert card or something. He's got something in 47, not a dessert. I don't know what it is.
I know he's got royal desserts and
yeah, he's got something in 47 too. But I don't know. I was lucky to get his 48 Bowman, so I'm
right. I still need it. So I still need that.
I'm super happy with it. But I have others like this was my mom's. She had a lot of the league leader stuff.
They're awesome cards. I love them.
Yeah, I love them too. This was hers.
Great card.
It was way off centered, but that one, I did have to buy this one.
What happened to did she pull a bench from her packs and just didn't misplaced it, or?
Yeah, I don't know. But she didn't have that one. She did have this one.
Oh, she did or didn't?
She did, and this one too.
How did she take what? So where did she keep her cards?
So in a binder. I've got the pages. The pages are from then. They're rough. Like when I was pulling cards out, they would rip, and they were pretty brittle. And she played with her cards if she liked them. She didn't like Yaz very much because he was on the opposite team.
No wonder he's a 7.5.
Right, yeah. Exactly.
She didn't like him all that much, so she didn't play with that card. But she played with a lot of these other ones. And here we were talking about that Carlton. She didn't pull this one. I bought this one, but I do have. I'm trying to find. I had it out here somewhere. Here they are. So here are some other cards. She had this. She pulled this one.
That's so awesome.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite Mickeys. 63, 64. I think are his best two cards of that decade.
So this was her favorite card of the set. She didn't pull this one. Her brother gave her this one, and she played with it all the time.
Oh, wow. Good story attached to it.
Yeah, I mean, so they played with their cards. She said that they would get them out and they would build teams and they would play against each other. And I mean, they just played with them constantly. Like that's what they were. They
used to do a thing where they would take the cards and just kind of like throw them, and if they leaned against the wall or something like that,
pitching cards, flipping and pitching.
Yeah, they had all kinds of games. But I just know that she played with this one all the time, and it's beat, but absolutely the back of it looks good.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, but I love that card. And then here's kind of a cool story. So I'm a band director, and I had about 3 or 4 trumpets, and I had one that I never played. And so when I was doing my 68 set, I needed to buy my mantle, and I didn't have the funds to do that. So I sold a trumpet. I found a mantle I wanted. That day, I put a flyer out. Someone bought it that day, and I bought the mantle the same day.
That's phenomenal.
And so here's that mantle.
Wow.
It's off-centered. My taste is a little different than it was then, but it's still beautiful.
Well, that means nothing to me. Like I don't mind. Off-center cards need love too.
Right? Yeah. And I love it. I love it so much. Then here's one that I had to get.
Yes.
This is as centered really as I could find that I could afford.
That's amazing because it's brutal. It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was a lower left corner on the sheet.
It was the top.
Was it the top?
Corner.
Okay.
Yeah, there's even a video on YouTube of Ozzy talking about it.
Yes, I've seen that. I've seen that. He's at like a card show, like behind. Yeah, I've seen that.
And they ask him why his card's always so off centered, and he's like, "It was on a corner," and so they only cut it in 2 sides. Like they only cut down and over. But this is actually my second one that I owned. I traded one away to get something else, and then got this one, which this one's much better than that last one I had.
Yeah, that's centered beautifully.
Yeah, and then I showed this one recently. It's a modern card, obviously, but it's numbered to 25. And when I first started getting back into collecting, I think I'm going to say it wrong. It was my birthday, maybe.
Okay.
My Father's Day or my birthday. That's terrible. But I think it was Father's Day actually. My wife and kids went to the card shop that I took the kids to all the time, and he said, get him this, and my wife had no idea what to get me, and he was like, he would love this, and so I sent it off to get it graded. It was just it was in a case, and so I pulled it out and sent it in to get it graded. And
I
I
love
love
those.
that card.
I love the modern cards with older players on them. I think they're awesome.
Man, it means so much to me. So then I get into the story with my mom is just so cool. And I get into this recently. I did a video on trying to accept not grading cards.
I saw it.
Because and it did pretty well, but I want to, and I'm fine. Like, I'm fine with it, but at the same time, I really like graded cards too. But my funds, like, it makes more sense to me to not do that. Like, it just makes I can build a better collection if I just don't.
I'm full board on the don't bother.
Yeah,
So,
I
that's
just
my opinion.
well, I go back and forth.
Right.
With the Lou Brock run, I have all but 2 cards, and they're all in SGC holders. I just don't feel like I can't finish it that way.
I kind of felt that way. I had my display cases up, and only graded cards were in there. And then once I ripped the Band-Aid off, now it's a mixture of everything. Now there's 7 or 8 cards up there.
Well, and I'll do that. I'm about to do, when I get done with Lou's run, I'm going to do Brooks Robinson. And so I'm not going to worry. I'll get PS. I still want graded, I think. When I do these specific runs, I think I want graded, because when I display them, I just want them to be in holders.
Sure.
But I won't care what holder they're in.
Right.
Like, I just feel like I'm so far in to lose. If I get 2 PSA holders, it's gonna. I don't know.
Right. No, I get it. It's that weird thing in your head, right?
It is, man. But these are all Hall of Famers that were in my mom's set, like Warren Spahn, 62 Warren Spahn. She opened all these from a pack.
That's wild, man.
Yeah. Yogi. I'm not doing good about putting these on the screen. Look at me.
No, you're fine.
I know. There you go. No, it's good, man. It's good.
Yeah. There's Whitey Ford, Minnie Minoso.
Were these all cards from packs that your mom ripped?
Yeah, she ripped all these.
That's wild.
I know.
The Minnie's a Cardinals card, is it not? I think his 62 is a Cardinals card.
The Minoso is, yeah. He's got an airbrush hat, but yeah. Mm-hmm. I got Ford. I got like this miscut Yogi manager card from 64. There were a bunch of league leaders, and I sent a bunch of those off to get them graded. But there are a bunch more. This one I'm really thinking about sending. I
love it.
It's in good shape.
Yeah, and that's he's got so many awesome cards, but that 67 is phenomenal.
It's beautiful. There's, of course, this isn't Hall of Famer, but I got Kurt Flood in here too.
He should be. He's another one who should be.
Yeah. Well, and then I've thought about there were a few in this Babe Ruth run from 62.
Yep.
And I love those. I thought about finishing those out. Here's a little Joe Torre, but there's about 300 more cards of lesser known guys that were in this binder as well. So I don't know. That's been pretty exciting and pretty fun to go through, and it's been awesome.
Any aspirations to complete another set, or now you're just picking and plucking?
Well, I've tried. I've even been like, let's do smaller sets, because it took me a while to find my niche, like find what I really wanted to do. So I did a lot of other things.
Sure.
I started the 64 Topps Giants because, it's only 60 cards, and I got 20 cards in, and I'm like, I don't want to spend money on these, like on guys I don't care that much. I don't know.
Right.
It got to the point, the player run was beautiful for me because every single time I was buying a Lou Brock card, and I like Lou Brock cards, you know what I mean? And so, and that's how it'll be with Brooks Robinson. And that's been very helpful because I don't have the funds to spend money on cards that don't mean as much.
What about like a Boyer or Shane Dienst run? Because that's affordable. Like, to me,
Well, Shane Dean's 48 is a little pricey.
Yes.
But beyond that, his stuff's pretty cheap. Boyer's is all pretty cheap. You can get all of Boyer's stuff fairly reasonable, and better do it before in case he ever does get elected to all.
Right. You got to look at his 64 Aurora Vision. You could probably pick one up for like $8.
Oh, and you love those cards. Those are awesome.
Yeah, I love them. They're the records, and it's a great image of them. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm on so many live streams, John, how come I didn't win the award? Dan won it. I got robbed. I want a recount on that.
That's so funny.
I saw that.
I just another thing that I really love, and I don't know how much you guys are into it. These videos don't do that well for me when I do videos on it, but I really love baseball history.
Yes.
And I like, I'm real close to Hot Springs, where spring training was formed, and there's so much. There's a home plate. Like I did a video on it. There's a baseball trail there, and there's a home plate where Babe Ruth hit a 570-foot home run, and it's like Arkansas has a deep like backroads baseball history.
Absolutely.
And it's just really, really awesome. Oh gosh, Trevor.
Another one of the crew, and he's in Indiana.
Yeah. It's really I love it, and I love the just with George Kell and Brooks Robinson and just there's a lot of backroads type stuff. And here's kind of a crazy story. Let me see if I can get his card out without dumping everything that I've got over here.
I will tell you this. Don't worry about what the video does. Do what you like doing.
Yeah. Well, yes, you're right. And I do. So this is Gene Bearden. And was it 49 or 48 they won the World Series, the Indians?
Oh, Dan's going to flip out. I think it was 48, right? Doesn't he have a whole story about the 48 team? And maybe I'm mixing stuff up.
It would get me. I don't know. This is a 49. But this so here's what happened with him. He was like the kind of the World Series hero.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. Sure. He was kind of the World Series hero for that team. And he was a pitcher on that team, and there are images of like them carrying him off the field and everything at the end. And on the back, there's a story of him. It says, badly wounded in torpedoing of the Helena during war. Doctors thought he might never walk again, much less pitch. However, last season with world champion Indians, so 48, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. So the guys in the, and I mixed up. I was thinking Dan was the Boston Braves guy, but yeah, 48 Cleveland.
Yeah. So he won 20 and lost 7, led the league in the ERA with 243. Anyway, he did all these things despite being in a torpedoing. Well, I had told this story and was doing research. When I was doing all the research, the baseball reference changed. And what is this, a Saber, SABR or whatever?
Yeah. Right.
I was looking at his stuff, and it changed, and it took this story off of there. And I didn't understand why. Well, what had happened was like it was all made up.
Really?
Yeah. like it's on several of his cards and all that. And he took the story with him to his grave, and his wife never. And so then there was a guy who had started doing research and all these things. Well, he was in Florida, stationed in Florida during the time of the torpedoing, which was in like the Helena was in Hawaii.
Right.
And so he wasn't on it. And so it was a big lie. Like, I don't know how it started and how all this stuff. So like he was this big war hero. And so everything's been taken down. Everything's been, and so the guy who found the story out reached out to me, sent me an email after that video. And he had to go to federal court to get all the Saber stuff changed.
Right.
And he started getting death threats from Indian fans.
Really?
Yes. Like, it was wild. And he was telling me that they would send him messages and stuff during the process. And because he was discrediting their hero.
Right. But the reality is he was telling the truth.
Right. And so anyway, it was proven in a federal court. And so they took all the stuff off of Saber and all that stuff.
Isn't that crazy? It's the world we live in. You can tell the truth and get shunned for it, but believe the lie.
I know. And all he did was want things to be right. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That's very cool. That's an awesome story.
I had bought this book called Backroads and Ball Players, and it's about Arkansas, all the small town ball players. Like Dizzy Dean is in it.
Okay.
And then Gene Bearden's in it, and Preacher Rowe. He's from Arkansas. Then I mean, you have Brooks Robinson, you have George Kell, George and Skeeter. His brother played for like a year in the early 50s.
Now, do you have any aspirations of diving into the pre-war players? I think you had mentioned at one point in time in a chat, you were thinking about getting a Diamond Matchbook Dizzy Dean because it's affordable.
Yeah.
And,
Yes. They even have graded ones for like $50, and like it's not very. I don't know how else to get a playing days of Dizzy, and so yeah, absolutely. There's about an hour and a half from me. His family still owns a restaurant, and they have a bunch of his stuff up. And I'll probably do a video of that at some point because I think it's pretty cool. But there's another thing. Did you see my story of the Cy Young autograph?
Yes, I did. I did see that.
Sammy, you probably haven't heard this, but I was at a friend's house and we were going through cards and we were talking about all kinds of different stuff. And he's like, I bet there's something you haven't seen. And I don't know. I've been friends with him for years. I don't know how he's never shown me this. But he goes upstairs. He comes back down, and in front of me, he puts a Cy Young autograph, and it's like an old, weathered piece of cardboard or something, and it's got just Cy Young. That's all it is, and it's in this plastic. And I said, it's not authentic. Like, how do you even know? And he goes, let me show you something. And so he gives me this book, and it's the Little League College World Series from like 1952 or something, 51 or 52. And he's got some tabs in it, and he turns to a page, and there was a page with his dad on it, his dad and two other guys. And then he turns the page again, and then there's Cy Young was at the same World Series. And he's like, well, when my dad was little and in this World Series, there were a bunch of, he signed a bunch of cards for these kids. And so like his dad got the signature from Cy Young.
Right. I think you sent that in the chat when you were going through the story.
Yeah.
when it first broke. I'm like, holy cow!
I mean, it was unbelievable. Like, and we have a big Hot Springs baseball weekend, and JSA is going to be there. Like, he's really thinking about taking it down there just to get the authentication on it. But I'm like, are they going to put that sticker on there? Because then don't.
You're right.
Like,
exactly.
I mean, he's got quite a bit of proof, and so like anyway, I was saying that to say. So then I talked. His dad's still alive. Like his dad that got the signature. I go to church with him as well. So then I talked to him at church the next Sunday, and he grew up playing with Brooks Robinson. And so he's like I wrote me and a friend of mine that played at this Lamar Porter Field wrote a book, and I'll bring you a copy next week. And I was like, well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
so
that's very cool.
Yeah, he comes the next week.
Wow.
It brings me this deal, and Brooks is in here, pictures of him and Brooks, and like Brooks would go to their house for dinner, and they knew him. He was a family friend.
That's awesome.
It's like they were just kids together, and they all played at this. It was like a big deal to play at Lamar, and the field's still there in Little Rock, and it was a big deal to play there. Like here's a picture of the field on the back, but. So I'm diving into that book, and it's just unbelievable all the people that went through there, and so I absolutely love some baseball history, and the things that I've gotten to experience have been pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty insane how intimate the history is in Arkansas. Like you can get all this stuff, and then the connections are even more insane once you start talking about it.
Well, and here's the deal. Here's what I think is so cool. Arkansas has never really been developed, so like all the stuff is still there.
Right.
Like even Yankee Stadium was torn down to build a new one.
Right.
And so in Arkansas, all the back roads, ballparks and stuff, they're still there.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so it's really neat to be able to go to all these places and see them, and it's really neat.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Well, shoot, man, I think you did very well giving us a little debriefing on the channel and everything that you got. I think that's awesome.
I talked a whole lot, but
no, that's good. That's what you're supposed to do.
I'm going to put your link in the chat. I think there's been some people who have subscribed so far, but if you're,
that's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are out there, we have like 40 people watching. So for anybody that would like to subscribe to Justin's channel, the link is in the chat. You guys click on it. And yeah, go ahead, subscribe.
Well, thank you,
That's
Sammy.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. But Justin, I understand correctly that you're not coming out to Strongsville Independence.
I'm not. Every year it's hard because it always lines up with something band related. We have state competition that weekend, and so it is every year. It's always on state competition, and so I just can't get away during that time. And then the national is always during summer band. So I don't. Well, so here's the deal. Here's something I'll make I'll just open the invitation. I hope the other guys that I've invited don't care, but in August, and I know it's right after the national. In August, there is a Hot Springs weekend. It's a big card show that they do in Hot Springs at the convention center. They usually get 6 big names in. Last year they had Johnny Bench came. Al Hrabosky always comes, but this year Fred McGriff is coming, and then some other guys, and they'll come and they'll talk. There's like 6 of them. They'll come, they'll talk on Friday night, and then Saturday and Sunday is a big card show. And so I got a house on the lake in Hot Springs from a friend of mine that is just giving it to us for the weekend.
Wow.
Nice.
And so Billy's coming. Mike Jayhawker's coming. Rusty's coming to stay in the house with me. And if anybody wants to join or wants to come down, and I don't know if we have room for everybody in the house, but I think it'll be a fun weekend. And usually at every show I've ever been to in Arkansas, there's been a good amount of vintage. Vintage is strong in Arkansas.
Good.
And so I don't, like I said, I think it's because of the lack of the metro area.
Sure.
It's just a lot of backroads guys, and they like the history and they like all that stuff. And so there's a lot of vintage usually at these things. So I'm excited.
I will just say, watch out for that guy, Billy. He's just a big bag of trouble. So.
Oh, I know. He causes all kinds of problems.
All right. Cool, man. Well, Justin, I want to say thank you for jumping on tonight.
Thank you, Sammy.
It was been awesome to hear stories, and I think that's kind of like you're a good storyteller. So that's in that kind of I think it kind of like what it enhances, your collecting. So want to thank everybody in the chat again. Here is the link. I think you're at 6. Yeah, it's kind of cool. You're at 691 subscribers,
nice.
which is always a nice, nice additional thing from doing these live streams.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Absolutely.
But yeah, all right. So everybody have a good start to your weekend, and we're not going to be around next week because you won't hear from me for a week. So
I know you're out and about doing your thing. So
vacation. Yep.
Spring break, Sammy. Is that where you're going?
No, my wife and I we're flying across the world.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep. All right, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you soon. Take care.